I have messed up where I've missed the bag, not having these type of systems.
Who hasn't, girl?
I remember I wished, a $30,000 bag. I remember. Ooh, it hurts still. It's been years. It's been years when I say years. So we are live, y'all, here with Coach Rocky to talk about 7-figure contracts, AI, and living a life that is connected to leading yourself, but also being led by God, which is one of the things, Coach Rocky, that I didn't get to tell you before we got on here, off camera, but I want to give you your flowers, because the one thing that I do appreciate about you is that you lead with integrity, and you also bring in your prayer practice into your content. And that has been really helpful and empowering for me the last few months. So I just want to thank you for always showing up in that particular way and being authentic and just being powerful. I just want to give you your flowers, not tangible flowers, but I want to give you your flowers now.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Belief systems is very important to me. And I tell people, I don't care what you believe in, have something to be founded on. And so that means a lot to me.
No problem. No problem. So for folks who might not know you, I know you, and I'm sure that several folks in the audience will, but tell us a little bit about who you are and why people should keep listening past the first 30 seconds of this video.
Well, I like to start this off by saying, started from the bottom, now we here.
Hey.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team. No, listen, I am not your most typical success story. I'm still a work in progress for sure. But I mean, I come from the hood of New Orleans. I've lived in poverty. I've done things that I'm not very proud of. But God saw me as someone who was worthy of redemption and mercy. And I got started in business in 2014 after my divorce. And then it just kind of grew from there. I realized how really freaking dope I was at it. For those who don't know me, I'm Jeanille Rockett, but everybody just calls me Rocky or Coach Rocky. And I am the owner and founder of Conquer Your Ish. It's trademark. Don't try to steal it. I have about 20 trademarks pending. I just have to put that out there because IP is important. And I also love all things AI. I'm pretty much obsessed with it. I like to tell people that I accidentally signed up for a certified prompt engineering course, and I didn't realize it wasn't a Chat GPT course. And I am actually a certified prompt engineer, and it was the hardest 6 months of my life. I was also the only female and the only Black person in that classroom. And I just want to say that. And I graduated third. Anywho.
You better show out. You better show out. So you signed up for the class and you didn't know that it was a whole certificate program? That's wild.
Girl, I was like, I want to learn how to do Chat GPT better. Girl, I'm talking about machine learning, robotics, LLMs, all kinds of stuff. I learned Python, coding. When I tell y'all, it was the craziest 6 months of my life. But I have this toxic trait where if I sign up for something, I'm going to commit to it. Even if I fail, I'm still going to go through the whole 6 months. And I did. Yes. But I love business, y'all. I'm a unicorn. I love business. I've done everything from music videos for rappers to, helping speakers make 6 figures on stage. I'm probably the best friend in your head too. So that's just a little bit I'm a mom. I am a mom. My daughter's 14. She drives me nuts. And I'm a cookie monster and the rich auntie.
I love that. So you mentioned, right, that you grew up in New Orleans. What part of New Orleans?
From the Ninth Wall, across the canal, Florida Project.
So you was probably there during Katrina like me, because I was there going to Dillard at that time.
I didn't leave New Orleans until like 3 days after. So okay. I was still in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina hit. We was actually downtown at the Hilton Hotel because my aunt worked at the Hilton, and she told us to come there like literally the night before Katrina hit. She was like, come here. We went there. But our house was completely flooded. My grandma's house was gone. We still hadn't found it to this day. But yeah, I was in the city.
That's wild. So we were there at the same time. We was living different lives. I resonated with you when you said you was living a different life at that time.
Let me tell you, I was living a very different life. When I say God gave me a clean slate, he really gave me a clean slate.
Yeah, and that's almost what Katrina was, right? And it's so interesting, right? We're at the 20-year anniversary of it. So I've seen so many different posts, so many different documentaries. I know some people ain't watching nothing. Some people are all in it. But, I just send you love as I send myself love as we navigate that trauma, because it was a very traumatizing experience, but it was also a very clean slate experience because literally you had to start from nothing and make something out of it. So you got into this AI world at the perfect time. Talk about the power of a pivot. I seen you pivoting and I was like, wait a minute, what's happening over there? And then you got real kind of quiet on your profile. And next thing I know, you pop back up and you were talking about artificial intelligence in so many dope ways. So why do you think AI is important for speakers in particular, right? Because most of the folks who are watching here, if you're watching y'all live, just going to put love in the comments because y'all going to love this conversation. But why is it important for speakers and consultants right now?
Man, I just want to say this. I actually got into AI in 2021, about 2022, when Jasper first broke the internet. I don't know if anybody remember Jasper, but I was paying $60 a month for that and hated it. But I was still learning. And that was the reason why I got into the certification. But here's what I'm going to tell y'all. For anyone who's a consultant or a speaker and you're thinking, should I get into AI? Let me tell you, your competitor, the person next to you, has already created the idea and they're already launching it while you're still thinking about it. AI is going to help you be more productive, faster, and more efficient. And it actually amplifies your creativity. And so, as you know, as a speaker, as a creative, you can have a thought about a book or a signature talk or a course or whatever the case may be. And if you're into curriculums or if you're into putting out physical products, you're like, man, I have this idea. You can brainstorm with AI. And then next thing you know, it's to life. So if you're not already using it, if you're not already leveraging it as a speaker, you're actually missing out on money and opportunities. And I don't know, that just sucks.
Yeah, I mean, unless you just, speaking for free and, but no one in this era or in this space.
Y'all better not be speaking for free.
No, we're past that. If you are, you're not welcome, to be honest with you. You're just not welcome to the conversation because we're past that. We charge high fees and we get financially free. That's what we do here.
Ooh,
so you are using AI in all parts of your business. I just took a workshop with you and it was so phenomenal. I was so mad, y'all, because my power went off and I didn't get to stay to the end. And I was like, what is going on with life? But being in the South, that's what happens in the summer.
Same
what you're particularly saying is if we don't use this, not only will we start running out of money, but people will get to ideas a lot quicker than us, right?
Absolutely.
So if I got a book idea, a course idea, if I got anything, it's probably going to happen quicker with AI. Now, one gap that I do see, Coach Rocky, and I want to know if you see this with your clients and if you could help us with this. I find people do a lot of ideas, but they don't implement it, right? I'm sure everybody got a ChatGPT with about 6 books written on there. They got Claude AI that's researching speaking engagements, but they ain't pitching. How do we get people to move out of idea and into action?
This is honestly a very freaking good question. And this has nothing to do with AI. This has everything to do with you and your fear of success and your own self-sabotage. Because if you do all that idea iteration and you're putting things in Google Docs and notes and you're saying, I'm going to do this, you're writing it down in all these notepads and you don't actually take action, you're afraid of being successful. And you have to this is where belief systems come in. What do you believe in? Are you a believer in fear or of faith? Because I believe in faith, and me knowing that I'm a big believer of faith, I have this crazy, audacious belief system. So I'm going to take the action. I'm going to pick up the phone and call people. I'm going to actually build the thing that I'm thinking about creating. My friends, this is so funny. We just had in our group chat, one of our friends said, who's the person who you know to call if you have a crazy idea or if you need to hide a body? You know who they said they're going to call? Me. Because I am the person where I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Let's do it. And they're like, Rocky, this ain't even fully put together. I'm like, but let's try it. You only live once. And I refuse to go to my grave full of ideas. I want to die empty. So if your goal in life is to have as much success and leave a legacy behind, you have to start asking yourself, what is really holding me back? And then start working on putting in tools and resources to really move forward. A lot of us are just afraid of success.
Yeah. I wanted you to speak about that because I think that is the missing piece in a lot of people when it comes to AI. They think that AI is going to be the motivation, the faith. They think that AI is going to be like the God-given talent, and it's not. Now, can it amplify it?
Absolutely.
Make it go faster and quicker and get you to success? But if you don't already have that, it's going to be really hard to push it forward. So there are three things that we talk about, Coach Rocky and Speaking for Profit, when it comes to finding speaking gigs. But one thing I want to focus on, right? The three things we talk about is like, you got to have credibility. You got to get into conversations with decision makers, the 3 C's, right? And you got to close some contracts. If you're not doing none of that, then you ain't got a speaking business. I mean, I don't know what else it is, but
what y'all doing?
In order to really get into conversations with decision makers, lead management is one of the things, right? We got to either be pitching or we got to go to events, conferences. We got to get in conversations with people. How can we utilize AI particularly to amplify that in our business? Because that's where I find the gap for a lot of folks. It's like, where do I find speaking engagements? Once I find them, how do I do it with volume and pitch as much as possible so that I can get the contracts in front of me?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And so let me free somebody before we go into this, because I'm going to give y'all a strategy, but I want to free y'all. You can start small. You do not have to start large, y'all. I know I'm gonna add 1,000 leads and try to call all 1,000. Baby, if you only got capacity to add 10 leads and follow up with them 10, you better wear them 10 out. Okay. I want to free somebody with that, because I'm about to give y'all a strategy, and I really want you to understand that the strategy works if you work it at the capacity you can. Okay. So when it comes to leads, I say wear your hometown and your state out. And so I'm in Texas. I know that there are school districts, there's organizations, there's conferences, everything happening in Texas. So I'm going to go to chat, or I'm going to go to Gemini or Claude, and I'm going to say, find me 10 in the next 90 days, right? So maybe 10 conferences on AI in the next 90 days, 10 school districts that are near me. I might even go into further detail and say, find me 10 school districts in the state of Texas that have open proposals or looking for professional development or for speakers that to come in and talk to their kids. Like, I'm going to get very specific, and I'm just going to start in my state. And then as I'm looking for these, I'm going to ask for the decision makers, typically the principals at schools, typically the hosts of the conferences, right? So I'm going to ask it to give me that contact information. Then I'm just going to start making the calls and doing the emails. I have a pretty crazy follow-up system, y'all. I know some people will be like, oh, do 3, do 5. Mine is anywhere from 14 to 21. And that is 14 emails, 14 calls. 21 emails, 21 calls. We are very intense. We do not play. You're going to have to unsubscribe, because even after we done at the 14 or the 21 mark, it loops right back around and push you back into that funnel. I do not play. So decide how many emails and how many calls you want to make. And you can start small. That's perfectly fine. But I always say 5 to 7 is a good starter number, and then increase it. So that first call, hey, I'm just looking to see who's the decision maker that handles X, Y, and Z. Speak the language. That's important. Speak the language. And then if they say, oh, it's such and such, okay, can I get their name, their email, and when is the best time to call them? When I call schools, I say, listen, what time Principal Benton go to lunch? Or when is her time that she just be chilling in her office? I'm a relational person. I talk to people like we know each other. And they're like, oh, girls, Wednesdays is the best time. And then at 9:30. And if you could catch her before 9:30, you'll definitely get on the phone. Boom. I make a note in the system. I put it on the calendar. This is key. Put it on the calendar. not my ClickUp, not my whatever. I put it somewhere where I know it's going to tell my whole house I need to call somebody. And the reason I do that is because it's connected to Alexa. If I say her name, everything going to go off in my office. Mm-hmm. And she will tell me, hey, you got a call at 10 o'clock in 10 minutes. Boom. Get into my office, make sure I take that call. And then I just consistently follow up until someone says no to me. And I schedule all my follow-ups. If you have Google email, if you're using your Google email, you can schedule emails. You could also there's automations you can do in Google Sheets. Like if you don't have a full-blown system, you can do automations in Google Sheets to send automated emails. Mail merge. Mail merge is an amazing tool. If you have Gmail, you can use mail merge to send a bunch of emails to a bunch of decision makers. So that's like my lead management. And I'm always checking and I have a follow-up system. Follow-up system is so important. My follow-up system is basically like my assistant. It tells me where I need to go and who I need to call. I let it run me a little bit because if I run it, I might be like, oh, I want to go get my nails done and forget about calling somebody. I make that call, then I go get my nails done. Yeah, so that's probably how I would manage my lead. Yes, I take care of work first because some of y'all ain't never been broke enough.
And that's the issue, right? That's the main issue here. I love this process because it's simple. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's actionable. And people think that they need to reach out to thousands of people. But I'm always like, if you're reaching out to thousands of people with the wrong messaging, with the wrong message, or not really knowing what you're doing, that's not going to be impactful. So I love starting small, actually starting organic. You don't even have to do all this automation at first. And then once you find something that works, y'all, and you have a team, because you might need a team member or at least a chat member, an AI member. We can talk about AI agents because I know you got a few of those to support you with that lead flow. Because the worst thing that you could do, and I've shared this story before, Coach Rocky, I have messed up where I've missed the bag, not having these type of systems.
Who hasn't, girl?
I remember a $30,000 bag. I remember. Ooh, it hurts still. It's been years. It's been years when I say years, but I missed it. And still now. So when I do set a system up, my first question to myself is, do I have capacity for this?
Yep.
Before I even go into all the money things, right? Do I have capacity? And I think that's a great one. So if y'all are picking up what Coach Rocky is putting down, go on and put the word money into the comments, put it into the chat. We want to see that come through.
And let me add, that 30K bag wasn't just the thing you missed out on. It's the relationships. And then, of course, the coming back to it. So when people think we say, oh, we missed out on a bag. No, I really missed out on a repeat client because a lot of my repeat clients, they keep bringing me back and they want me to do more stuff. I have a client, I haven't spoke for them in 2 years. I told them I'm releasing some new journals for social emotional learning for the kids. Guess what? They're like, can we put in an order for 100? I haven't spoke in 2 years there.
Yeah.
It's the relationship.
Yeah. Because if you're doing this right, y'all, and you're over delivering, you're a powerful speaker, which we know most folks who are watching this are. You're going to go in there and they're going to want you to come back. You just got to give them the opportunity to invite you. So you got to actually say it like, hey, I would love to come back, but they're going to give it to you. So it is missed business. It's bad relationship building. And then people don't take you serious. It can also bring down your credibility as well, which is a big
absolute. Thing. Ooh, girl, I'm so glad you said we ain't going to get on that, but I'm glad you said that.
So we know a little bit about how to do leads. Now, when it comes to contracts, I always want to ask speakers this question because I learn something new every time I ask it. Any clauses that you have in your contract to protect your time or your money that you would suggest other people use or automatically always have in a contract for themselves? Yeah.
So, man, I'm so glad we're talking about this. I missed out on a lot in the beginning when I was like I have my contracts actually done by my attorney. So when I tell y'all, I still missed out on things. And so I would say some of the things that I, of course, include is the content. Like I need to be able to get content of myself. I need to be able to record. Even if you don't want me to show the company logos, because some of the companies I work with, I have to sign NDAs and they don't want to show the logos, but I need to still be able to record myself. So content is like super important in my contract. I always say that I have a preparation fee. I work with a lot of corporations. And so we meet, we do logistics talk, we do planning. That time I can't get back. So if we do all that and you decide you want to cancel, that's my money plus an additional 25% because I more than likely booked my flights and I'm not going to be able to get that back. And how I book flights, they give you a credit. They're not giving you cash. So that's usually already in my contract. Now, with some of the school districts, what I like to include is that there's a couple things I do. Let's just say, for instance, Frisco ISD wants to bring me in. My fee is $5,000 because this is Texas. I only charge $5,000 for certain things. And so they want to bring me in for $5,000. However, they don't have the full $5,000. They only have $3,500. So here's what I will tell them. I'll do it for $3,500, but you need to bring me back in the spring and you need to bring me back in the fall. And this is the rate that I'm going to charge and you're going to put me in your budget. And so I make sure that is something we all agree on in the contract. Yes. Listen, I make sure if I'm going to come in for $3,500,
I hope y'all got y'all notebooks out because I got mine out.
Because I ain't playing. Okay. And anytime, even if I do something like in kind, if I do something like I don't get a payment, and I only do those in Texas because it's easier for me to get around in Texas. I have it in a contract still that you're going to do an in-kind letter, meaning that I charge $5,000, but I basically didn't charge it. It's like a sponsorship basically, right? So I make sure I include that. I also like to include that if they are wanting to bring anybody in for the same thing that I do, that they can book a free 30-minute call to talk about the differences. Let me tell you why I put this in my contract. I want to eat up the competition. I don't want nobody competing with me. And that way it gives me the opportunity. They say, yeah, we're going to bring in Evolve. I know this is something that you told us to schedule with you, but we're bringing in Evolve. Oh yeah, let's talk about it. I'm going to do research on Evolve. I'm looking her up. I'm trying to figure out why they're bringing her in. Now, granted, we might talk about two different things and that's perfectly fine. But here's what I can do as a partner. I can say, listen, make sure she does this. Make sure she does that. Make sure they're going to remember the time that I spent with them to do these certain things. And then they're going to be like, dang, Rocky, I know you don't talk about this, but can you talk about this? Oh, you know how many contracts I've signed because they asked me, can I? And I did.
You said, I'm gonna figure out a way to speak about this conversation.
And I'm gonna figure out a way. Do you hear me? And then they've asked me, because I've built such great relationships, they've asked me if I know someone who does a certain thing. So now what I've been able to do is create relationships with people. And I put this partnership agreement in my contracts. I say that if there is a topic that I do not cover, then I am going to fill the spot or fulfill the engagement with someone who knows my principles, knows my company, all the things that we do, and still meets your mission, value, and core, mission, vision, and core values. And they'll come in and speak. So what happens is now Evolve comes in and speak. She gets 85% of the bag. I get 15% of it because you get in the bag. You about to get the whole bag. So that's in my contract too. I make sure they know, like, if there is a schedule conflict or there's a topic I don't cover or you need a specialist for something, I'm going to bring somebody else in. That's important because a lot of these contracts that I sign with the school district, it's a shut in. Whoever's in it, that's the only people we're going to work with. And if that's the only people, then I want to make sure I have enough people that can cover me if something does come up or if I get sick. Mm-hmm. So I think those are probably some of the things I include in my contract that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Yes, y'all. This is all game. Like, this is some things that I'm thinking about as well. Because what you're doing also, Rocky, is you're building a relationship with them that makes them beyond you just being a speaker. Now you're a consultant. Mm-hmm. Now you're a thought agent, right? So that brings up not only the amount that you get paid, but the value of where they see you are and your credibility as well. So thank you. Whew, thank you.
I'm bringing people who I've seen speak. I've only bringing people who I know operate at the same excellence level I do. Yeah. And then also so the client pays me and then I give you Evolve 85% because when you come in under a partnership, you're still coming in under, we're like you're using my insurance, you're using my contract, you're using my credibility. So I'm taking 15%, and then you get the other 85%. So this is like really, it's become a very like lucrative thing for me because I've been able to pitch more and include more people in my pitches and say, listen, this is my parent engagement specialist. She's going to be the one handling this. So now she's making 85% of the deal, and I'm making the other 15. So I get to sit at home.
Yep, you get to kind of like broker it, right? Without being a speaker agent. Like
without being an agent, I'm forming these partnerships because it is important for me to still have time to be a mom. I'm going to be somebody's wife one day. Like, I don't want to be traveling all the time. Like,
I love that so much. So everybody that's watching, I know y'all got a few questions that are coming up in the chat. This is phenomenal.
Let me pull up the chat.
I love that y'all got these questions. We really appreciate them. So what we're going to do at the end, right, is we're going to actually have Q&A. In order for you to be a part of the Q&A, you have to be in a Profitable Speaker Circle or in Speaking for Profit Academy. Now, the great thing for you is that the Profitable Speaker Circle is a free community. So all you got to do is make sure that you join it, right? Praise them. It's free. It's free.
I was like, I gotta pay $7, $9, nothing.
No, it's free. It's free. It's free. All you gotta do is go to the link, you join. Some of y'all that are watching are already in the community, but you must be in the community and you must post the question there. There is a post in the community already, y'all. Like, we've already put it up because I already knew I wanted to be prepared. I don't want to be y'all clicking around. Like, what do I do? What do I say? So if you go in the community, at the top here, we already have this amazing post where we're talking about Coach Rocky. The information is here, where the link where you joined. We also have a link to her amazing community, which we'll talk about later. But in this thread, whether you're in the circle or in the academy, that's where I want you to put your questions. And we'll go back to that thread. And that's how we'll answer questions at the end. If you're putting them in the chat, if we don't see anything that pops up over there, of course, we'll go to the chat as well. Yeah. But I really want to make this about the people who have used their most valuable resource with me, which is their time. And if you're in the Profitable Speaker Circle, it means like, you care about your business. You're trying to grow it. So I want to show you value there. So make sure you put your questions over there and we will answer them.
Yep.
Bomb. Okay, so let's get into the bag, right? Because we everybody here, y'all showed up because y'all seen $1 million, that Powerball. Coach Rocky. It's like, both of them gonna bring the bag out of you. So I want to talk to you about particularly what do people need to be prepared? What do they need to have to be prepared for a 7-figure contract? And I'm thinking about habits, business habits. I'm thinking about actual assets in their business and the attitude and systems, not just like, here's the kind of contract you send out. Because we all can probably go to ChatGPT and put together $1 million contract. But what systems, what do we need holistically to be prepared to secure that kind of bag?
Yes, I just want to say, I want to give all honor and glory to God, because it took us 6 months to fully get that deal actually taken care of. And we're still like in the process of finalizing some things. So just gotta give all honor and glory to God in reference to that, because that is the biggest for me and my company and for any of the people that I partner with. And so I'm going to tell you guys, if you've ever applied for a mortgage, the process is pretty similar. You have to have a real business. And let me tell y'all what I mean by real business. One of the things that I thought was really interesting is that if you had Gmail in your email, they did not like that. They wanted to know that you had a real company email. They wanted to know that not only did you have a company email, you had company emails for certain things. So we have a payments at conqueryourish.com, which handles all payment inquiries, questions. We have a support at conqueryourish.com, which handles any customer support issues. Like, that was very important to them. And we made sure that was already established. So you got your LLC, you need your DUNS. This was a big deal. A lot of people lost out on this one because they didn't have a DUNS number. It didn't require an SBA, the Gov number. It didn't require that one, but it did. They wanted to make sure you had a DUNS number. So you want to make sure you have your DUNS. A website is absolutely important. A lot of times people will say you can get by without a website, and I believe it. I did it for years. In this capacity and the work that they're looking for, they want to see a website. We talked about credibility, right? So a website is part of your credibility because it has testimonials, it has the work that you do, it has you, your presence, the things, what you offer. So a website, maybe 3 to 5 pages, definitely something about you, how they can contact you, all that good stuff.
Hey there, I'm Evolve Benton, and if you're here, I know something about you. You're a powerful speaker with a message, and you're creating great impact in the world, but unfortunately, your income does not reflect that. That stops now. Welcome to the Profitable Speaker Circle, a system-led community where we focus on landing high-paid speaking contracts, building out your signature talk, and making sure that you have a system that is easeful for your life and for your business. In this program, I teach you the Wealthy Speaker Method, the exact strategies that my clients have used to make over $3 million in the speaking and consulting industry without big followings or speakers bureaus. Here's what you'll get as a member: the complete Wealthy Speaker Method, signature talk creator templates, your booking pipeline builder, virtual stage mastery system, and my authority building testimonial framework. Check out these clips as you hear from some of my clients who've moved from making $500 to $5,000 in the speaking and consulting industry.
So I'm coming in on the year starting from scratch with nothing. And I've already been able to collect and certify and finish up 3 speaking engagements, totaling over $45,000 in revenue. We're still working on getting kind of all the other types of programs together, but I just had to stop and say just really all of what's happening and just being a burnout coach and knowing how important kind of the time is and how we balance things and how we work things out. I just have to say, with the material that we're going over, how they teach us how to actually be not just great speakers, but CEOs of our business, and the respect towards time and family and structure, and just really the TLC that's in this program is unlike anything I've ever seen.
The last couple of years, you've had ups and downs when it comes to the business, but I think the last few months you've spoken a lot. One, what was the most exciting speaking opportunity that you got? And 2, what's the biggest bag? Because people always want to know a little bit about the money.
I believe that the most exciting opportunity that I got a chance to do was for this organization called the Corporate Council for Men of Color. Right. And so they have different components to a Corporate Council for Men of Color, Corporate Council for Women of Color. And I got to talk about career progression, right? And how to progress in your career and some of the things that you could do. And they actually flew me out to New York, right? They flew me out to New York, first class.
And fancy.
Fancy. Right. Stayed at a really nice hotel right in the heart of New York City as well. And so that was really, really, I believe, one of the most exciting engagements that I had. And the biggest bag I got, you mean in terms of how much it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. The biggest bag I've got so far for one engagement has been $5,000.
Yeah.
And that is not including travel costs, right? So they pay for flight, hotel, food, different things like that. But $5,000 came from just speaking and the fact that after I spoke, they ordered books, even more books, because they ordered books for the event to pass out, right? It's like, prizes for students who volunteered. But then after the fact, one of the directors said, hey, we want to buy more books. So they even bought some more books. So it was like $5,000 to do an hour engagement. They bought books, and that was in addition to travel costs. So that was the biggest bag that I've gotten thus far.
This isn't just another watch later course. This is a community that's going to help you create more impact and more income in your life and in your business. It's a proven system with real community, real results, and real wins. If you're done winging it and ready to build a profitable and sustainable speaking business, click the link below to join the Profitable Speaker Circle, and we'll see you inside. And if you're still not sure about it, we could book a strategy call and talk a little bit more about it together. The link is below.
Working links is important. And then I want to go into just how you show up online is important. There were a lot of people who lost out because of certain behavioral things and things that they found. So how you show up online is important. Insurance. Oh my goodness. Me and Yvonne was talking about this beforehand. A lot of y'all get by with no business insurance. The school districts do not play about insurance when it comes to not even just having liability. It's like workers' comp, auto. You got to have, some of them require emissions and errors and emissions. Like the insurance part is so important. And it's something that I'm still like learning and navigating because I was so used to just having my liability insurance. And then of course, some insurance to cover me as a speaker. But I also decided to get some insurance for my voice, which I didn't even think of in the like last year. I wasn't thinking about this, but I got insurance for my voice. I didn't realize how impactful my voice was until somebody was like, you should insure your voice. And I'm like, I'm not Beyonce. They're like, have you heard yourself on the phone? And I'm like, ooh, clock it. So I got some insurance on my voice, which was very important. And then, of course, because I have partners in my company that I work with, they have their own insurance, but I have insurance that, you know, protects them too, just in case if there's something that happens in the process of like performing the contract that I signed, because that's important. I signed it. My company signed it. These are just contractors, subcontractors. So that's important. What are some other things? Oh, your proposals. You have to know how to put a proposal together. You have to read the language of these like proposals. It is so like one of them said, only use Times New Roman or Arial font, and it has to be 11. It has to be font size 11. It has to be single space, no double space. Don't have, you know how we learned in school, 2 spaces after the period? Yeah. They said only 1 space after the period is required. Baby, when I tell you.
So they pretty much hazing us and taking us back to undergrad. That's what it sounds like.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? When I was reading that thing, I printed it out because at that point now I got to pull my highlighter out. And I got to make sure I'm not missing anything. And this one was very specific, especially around even if you didn't have certain certifications, you needed to still say you identified as something, which was because they had and now I'm gonna give y'all this because this is important. Some of these contracts have a percentage of, I can't think of the word right now, but it's like a minority percentage. Mm-hmm. And they have to meet that. And even if you aren't fully certified as a small business or a woman or whatever, you still have to put it in your proposal, in your pitch. And so it's important that you read that language because some of them will say, don't mention it unless you are. And some of them will say, mention it. I don't care if you are. So that was a big deal because they have to meet a certain percentage. And this is for the district, not just for this contract, for the district. They have to hit a certain percentage of minorities that they're working with. But overall, like the mindset piece, I think that's the biggest part. It's frustrating, y'all. It's frustrating. The back and forth, the signing of documents, the meeting with people. One of the things that they said about me, and I'm just bragging on myself at this point, and I don't know if y'all gonna be able to relate to this. And I know this audience is very diverse, but they said I presented very now this was a side conversation. I'm gonna say that they said I presented very white on paper.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I need us to take a moment for this. There is a certain level of excellence that Jeanille Rockett operates in, that it doesn't matter my skin color, my gender, or anything. When you see what I put out there, you won't know where I'm from. You will just know it's excellence. And this is a predominantly Black school district where a lot of the proposals were pitched by people who did not look like me. So when you think about the people that you're up against and you got people in the back, like in side conversation, girl, you look good on paper. You present it well as also.
Mm-hmm.
I need y'all to understand how important that is. I didn't take it as an offense. I took it as, dang, we would have never known.
Yeah.
And that's how I tell people when it comes to the proposal process, you need to be thinking like excellence. You need to be presenting with excellence. Every proposal starts with, thank you so much for putting this proposal out here and allowing us the opportunity to pitch and serve your educators, your corporate, whatever. We thank them with excellence. Mm-hmm. And we tell them what they're going to get when they look at our proposal. We also say, listen, I'm going to give y'all a plug. In all my proposals, I say, listen, you're going to review several proposals from several different companies. A lot of them are going to offer something that might be less than what we're offering. We don't want you to make a decision on price alone, because where price for us may be on the higher end, quality is definitely not something you want to negotiate. We are open to negotiate if our price does not match your budget, but I do not want you to make a decision on budget alone.
Yep, that's a line right there. That's a line right there. You know what's interesting about that comment, right, that you appeared white on paper, is that some people are just not aware of how brilliant Black women in particular are. Like, they're just not aware of it. So they think that that's the only way it can be excellent. But it's so interesting that the people that you were competing against, who probably did not show up so excellent on paper, were not Black women. Right. So this is also a moment of awareness, y'all.
They were so like, somebody hit me up on LinkedIn and they were like, oh my gosh, you don't know how proud I am of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because now that they see you, you've opened the door for so many more of us, right? Because they understand the excellence that exists. So thank you. Thank you for that labor and just thank you for dropping all the gems. So the reason why I wanted to ask that question, y'all, because I know y'all are on here like, okay, cool, that's cool. The money, cool. That seems like a lot of work, because I want y'all to know that it is.
It is.
Like we want to birth and manifest all of these amazing things, like 7-figure contracts. It sounds great, right? You thinking about going to get that Ferrari right now. I can see a lot of y'all. You're already there. You already buying the house, right? But there's labor and there's actual work that goes into it. In order for Coach Rockett and her team to secure these contracts consistently, not only does she have to do the front end, but now she got to do the delivery. And if you're not like thinking about ensuring your voice, ensuring your team, if you're not ready to be that type of leader, you might not want to put that type of manifestation out there. You gotta be ready to move into it, y'all. You gotta be ready to move into it. So congratulations, 7 figures is a big deal, and I'm proud of you. I know that you pivoted, right? Like you weren't really doing a lot of work that was serving just you and your company. You were kind of like, when I met you, the behind the scenes person for a lot of different businesses.
Yep.
Can you share a little bit with us about why you decided that pivot and how that opened up more for you as a business owner and as a leader?
Absolutely. So I've been in corporate training for 11 years. I want to make sure everybody know this isn't something new. I've been doing this for 11 years. I've been a contractor and I've actually been employed as a corporate trainer. So when I was already doing it, but I wasn't doing it like big, right? And I've been servicing small business owners, coaches, consultants, speakers, working behind the scenes, helping people build systems, marketing content. All the things. And last year, I just had a conversation with God. This was in February of last year. And God was like, now, I don't know how y'all talk to God, but this is how I talk to God. Let me put that out there. God was like, girl, you are my daughter. You are done being behind the scenes. And if you continue to try to be behind the scenes, you will see limits. You will have blocks. There will be barriers, because I have called you to the streets of ministry and not to be on the sidelines. And I was like, God, whatever. Listen, I make good money doing what I'm doing. I'm good. Like, I don't want to be outside like that. What are you talking about? He was like, all right, bet. He clocked my T. There was certain things happening in my personal life and in business that it just made sense. Like, I see why I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. The pivot really happened because there was a team that brought me in to do a corporate training for AI. And as I'm having a conversation like this on Zoom, I was like, your people don't need AI training. They were like, yeah, we want them to learn how to, do chatbots and everything else. I was like, they don't need AI training. I said, if you trust me, allow me to do a different training with them. And they said, okay. And I said, and if that training works, I'll do the AI training for free. I already knew the training was going to work. I did the training, and this was a team of 27. And I did the training. It was in person. And I remember tears. I remember crying. I remember, oh my God, you see me. Like, how did you know? And that was a shift for me, because that's what I do well. When I work with people, it's not whether I'm with speakers or coaches or even corporate or educators. I am a people agent. So when I work with people, I give them something that they didn't have, whether it's confidence, ability, a smile, faith, belief, and I allow them to see themselves as something different, and it changes them. And I remember 6 weeks later, they were like, oh, our performances are going up. Our y'all, I don't know if y'all ever worked in a call center now. Y'all know how there's the time in between calls, and that's lower. We have them they're happier, they're smiling on the phone now. And I said, okay, well, you ready for the AI training? Oh, I don't think we need it.
So yeah, do that labor anyways.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the pivot, that was a moment where I made that decision. I said, you know what, this is it. I am a people agent, and I cannot be on the sidelines being a people agent. People are changed when they work with me. And you've been in certain programs with me, certain containers. I've always known, but I think a part of me was afraid. Because when you're more vocal, when you're more out there, when you're more seen, people start to they start to bring up your imperfections. They want to bring up your past. I had somebody, an old friend of mine was like, oh, you're all on social media. People don't even know you were pregnant at 15. And I said, I was pregnant at 15 and I lost a baby. And what? What you gonna do about that? You gonna tell the whole world? I don't care. I'll talk about it in my book. Who cares? It's that attention that I was afraid of that I know God prepared me for. So that's where the pivot came from. It was like, God's like, you're a people agent. You have a spiritual gift of exhortation and leadership and wisdom. And because you have that, you cannot be on the sidelines. So for anybody who's watching this and you're like, I don't know what my next move is, always go back to God. Think about that thing that you do so freaking well to the point where it lights you up. I can get on here and talk all day. My daughter will probably fuss at me because we got to go somewhere. But I can get on here and I talk all day because I love doing this. I genuinely do. And whenever something lights you up like that, you absolutely want to do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about your work, right? It's so connected to God. It's so connected to your spirit and to your story. So you got this book dropping, which I'm excited to read. We ain't gonna talk about it, but I do want to talk about.
You got me over here blushing.
Yes, y'all. This is about to be a published book soon, right? Like next couple of days.
Next Monday.
Yes. So one, what's the title of the book? Because we want to know that. But two, a book in general. Like the first time I got started as a speaker was because I have a poetry collection called Sir. Like I know the importance of it, but I don't know if our audience knows how important it is to have this item when it comes to your credibility in your business. So tell us the title first, and then tell us the back end game of why you're doing a book right now.
Yeah, so the title of the book is called The Roots She Couldn't Kill, How I Grew from the Pain She Planted. And so it's my story of survival and softness and self-mothering, dealing with maternal wounds or mother wounds. It's passionate work. Let me say that. I also want to say this is important. There's a very big, well-known speaker who makes way more money than me, who told me that I shouldn't have published this book first. I should have published my education or corporate book first. And I told him, I said, when it's a God thing, you do what God tell you, be obedient, and you surrender to that, and everything else gonna make sense. So I just want y'all to know that, because everyone asked me, why did I choose to put this book out first? And that's because I'm a people agent. A lot of y'all are on here right now, and y'all have some level of trauma that's holding you up from going to your next. And my book is not about my mom. My book is about how my relationship with God became so tight to the point where all my friends call me delusional. They know, like, God's gonna do it. It's already figured out. It is really like delusional faith. And that's what the book is about. And so that's why I needed to put this out first, because every one of you can learn something in this book about building a stronger, more connected relationship with God. And so when you have that book in your hand, and 2017 me would probably be like, no, I'm gonna just do the work first. But 2025 me would say, do your book first. When you have a book in your hand, you can now leverage that. You can say, oh, if you don't want me to come out and speak, how about I send you my book? That way you could read it, or you could talk about some of the things or the strategies with your team. And then we could, have a follow-up call in 30 days, right? You can use your book to get on stages. You can use your book to, it's also a revenue generating machine, because now when you speak, or first off, can we have a budget conversation real quick?
Let's talk about the money. Let's do it.
Schools and corporations all have different kind of budgets. If you are in the education sector, there's social and emotional budget, there's Title I, Title II, whatever type of budget. Let's just say, for instance, they don't have a budget for a speaker or someone to work with a consultant, but they have a budget for social and emotional learning. Guess what? I now have this journal that focuses on social and emotional learning. If you buy 300 of these, I'll come out and speak for free. Corporations. Oh, we have a book budget, but we don't have a speaker budget. Bet. What do y'all have a book budget for? Oh, personal development, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? If you buy 200 of my books, I'll come out and do 3 workshops for free. Whatever. You bought a book, I'm there. It's a leverage tool, right? And so 2017 me, I wish I would have wrote the book. 2025 me is like, we're putting out all these books because they're going to help us get on more stages. People want to buy books for their employees, for their educators, for whoever. And the book it is a talking magnet, because now they're going to read it and they're going to be like, dang, this is fire. Let me follow her. Oh, does she speak? Oh, she speaks. Oh, she do workshops. So I want you all to know, like, you have a book in you. It's the 3 things that do this, the 7 things that do this. You have a book in you, and AI can absolutely help you do your outline. You see how I took it back to AI?
You brought it all the way back around, y'all. This book game, when I worked in higher education, Coach Rocky, we would get books probably once a week, maybe even twice a week, and guaranteed. Number one, most college and universities, they have like a book of the year that every student reads, right? So sometimes we would save books. They'd be like, yeah, that might be the book for 2027, whatever it may be. Yep. But that person probably would be like a keynote speaker or for some type of event, because now it gives you so much credibility in the educational sector. And people's bucket list is to write a book. So when they see that you did what they've been thinking about their whole life, they're like, oh, this person definitely is more disciplined and more skilled than me. So I'm excited about your book. I'm excited for other people to write their books. We actually have Geo coming into the space in a couple of weeks.
Geo is my book coach.
See? Okay. Look at that, y'all.
Can I just shamelessly plug Geo? So I am not I can write content, but when it comes to sitting down writing a book, not my thing. I basically talked into a chat, and Geo took those 17 talks and turned them into 17 chapters. And I was just blown away. I was like,
so he's good. He's done.
Shout out to Geo. If y'all don't know who Giovanni Darris is, make sure y'all follow him. He's amazing.
Yeah. But he's coming into the community September 23rd for folks who are a part of Profitable Speaker Circle and the Speaker for Profit Academy. And he's going to talk about getting your first book done. But I always have these conversations because I want to hire him. Like, my plan is to hire him in 2026. I've already dropped a book before, but I know how much work goes into it. And I know having a coach that's dedicated not just to the book writing, but really thinking about the uniqueness of the marketing.
You've seen my marketing, haven't you?
Yes, it's been good. That's how I know you got a book. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like, you got to put yourself out there when you're self-publishing. I probably wouldn't have known if the marketing wasn't so good.
Listen, baby, this marketing started in February for a September book release, y'all.
Yep.
Just saying. And I have already, so my goal is 100, and I've already sold, as of this morning, I've already sold 32 books, and then I've sold about 7 on Amazon. So I am just blown away, and y'all just have no idea. Like, Gio is so dope. If you hire him, girl.
Yes, I will. That is definitely the plan. So folks, do me a favor. If you have questions, put them in the community space. I know we're a smaller group. I see us here. So if you want to, I'm going to bring up the stuff in the chat as well, but I would love for you to put it in the community. So do that. I'll look through and see if we have some questions, because I know Coach Rocky got things to do. And then I'm gonna just ask my last question, and then we'll bring up the Q&A.
Yeah.
My last question for you is, I know you mentioned, right, you go to God anytime you have these questions, but when do you use artificial intelligence and when do you use God intelligence? Like, how do you decide on which one to use when you're working on a big task for your business?
Oh, girl, that is I wish my prayer sisters was on here, because I taught them something. I'm gonna teach y'all what I do. First off, I always go to God first. No matter if I go to AI, I always go to God first. I'm like, God, give me the strategy, give me the plan. I do believe God can give me the miracle of just an answer, but I also know that my God is a strategy God. So he will give me the strategy to actually implement. So I'll pray for the strategy. And I like to go to the word. And so let's just say, for instance, I am thinking about doing something big. I'm like, okay, where in the word it talked about people doing something big? Okay, Noah did something big. Let me see what scriptures is it in Noah. Okay, now let me go to AI. So Noah did this in these scriptures, and I'm thinking about something big. Can you help me interpret these scriptures so I can build the confidence to do this big thing? And it will start helping me interpret the scriptures. Now, I fact check, okay? I just need y'all to know this. I don't solely rely on AI, but I do fact check. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like this. Then I say, build me a big goal plan. 30 days to accomplish this goal, based on scripture, based on everything we talked about, based on Noah. And it will build out a plan for me. And so I always go to God first, because I need all blockages, all barriers removed so I can hear God. That's prayer, fasting, worshiping. And then once I feel like God is feeding into me, I will take that strategy and build something into AI. And I got to tell y'all, always go to God first. AI is amazing, but AI is not God. And I also teach ethical AI, not just ethical AI usage, but spiritual ethics when it comes to using AI. Do not let it become your God and your idol. And we can have that conversation another day.
Yeah, I might have to bring you back for that one, because some people be on here falling in love, and it's a lot going on. So
listen, I love Winston too.
I know you talk a lot about AI in your work. So the reason I wanted to ask you that question, because you talk about God as well. And I feel like, I don't want people to be confused about what the source is. Like, the power definitely comes from that relationship.
Because I talk to God. Like, I will go on a walk and talk to God, and then I will feel like I get this feeling like I'm getting the download, and then I'll say, okay, chat, this is a scripture that came to mind. I want to build a 7-day plan off of this scripture. Like, it helps me put my God strategy in place faster. Mm-hmm. But it has to come from God. It can't come from chat, y'all. Just saying.
It can't. You can't make chat God. So get over that. So I don't know. Shauna said, coming in late, we'll definitely watch the replay. Well, Shauna, if you got questions, post them in the Speaking for Profit Academy community, because you are one of our VIP members, and we would love to hear from you.
Yes, girl. I've been waiting on you.
Thank you so much, Coach Rocky, for being here, being willing to use your time with us. Anything else you want to share with the community before you head out?
I just want to say thank you for doing what you're doing. to run a community, you said this just a second ago, to run a community is a place of service and passion. And I got into your community and I saw how you serve and I saw how you show up. And I'm just so freaking proud of you. Like, it is amazing to, like, I was just going through it amazed. And I was saying to myself, man, if I was to be a community leader, I want to be a community leader like this. And because I know I don't have the capacity, I'm just amazed to watch you. So thank you for all the work that you're doing for the people that's in your community, for how you are serving them. And y'all are crazy if y'all don't sign up for whatever she got, because if she doing this for free, I can only imagine what she giving her paid people. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much for doing this for everyone, for inviting me, for it's just amazing. So thank you.
Definitely, y'all. Yes. I'm so thankful to have the community. I'm thankful for the roses. I'm working on taking like affirmations in. So I'm just going to take a quick little deep breath. Yeah. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And it's an honor to serve y'all. It's an honor to have a space where speakers that are amazing as y'all can be here for free. But like Coach Rocky said, there is a paid space. So if you want to join the Speaking for Profit Academy, it's our core community. It'll help you make your first 6 figures in speaking. But also it's just a community of amazing folks who are learning together. And we would love to have you. We're in open enrollment. You can find that information in the community, and it is application based. So it's not for everybody. And we understand that. We only got 10 spots available for 2025, and then we're wrapping it up. But hit me up if you got questions about that. But I want y'all to go back, watch this full hour. If you didn't start from the beginning, get that notebook out. And if anything, take the strategy that we talked about in the beginning when it comes to your lead management and use it in this month's pitch competition. Because if you get in 20 pitches this month, you can win an opportunity to be at Speaking for Profit Live. You can win a $100 gift card. We're giving away some fun stuff. We are giving away money for you to pitch your business.
Can I be a little extra?
Yes, please. Be a little bit, just a little bit.
So I don't know if y'all follow me, and Evolve, you might remember this. In the beginning of the year, I did this close one lead challenge in a week, and I documented my process. Is it okay if I give it to your paid people?
Yes, I would love that. Oh, y'all, we getting gifts out here. I love that. Yes, Coach Rocky.
Because I was supposed to do this as a workshop, and then as you brought it up, the challenge.
Yes.
I'm gonna share it with Evolve for her paid community. It was so awesome. I did this close one lead challenge. I documented it live. I talked about it live on Facebook. But I put all of the material, everything I did in like a Google Doc, and it's just been hiding. And I would love to share that with your people. And somebody got to use it.
Yes, please do use it, y'all. Because I'm just trying to figure out why y'all not pitching. And this is why we doing this whole competition. We have to do a whole competition, create a leaderboard. Coach Rocky got to give away stuff. Can somebody pitch their business, please? Can you just reach out to people? Just one person a day. That's all we asking for. Because if you do that, you're going to land a gig. And once you land a gig, guaranteed you'll start pitching. Once you get that money in your bank account. Guaranteed. So thank you so much.
I'm about to message my assistant right now and be like, look, we sharing it.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Coach Rocky. I appreciate you. Everyone else, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all.